What's going on, everybody? My name is JT and you're tuned in to The People's Trader, your source for no-nonsense crypto fundamental analysis and technical analysis. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We do this every single day except for the days that I don't. Jumping right into live coin watch, we have Bitcoin at $11,776. We're still ranging within that consolidation pattern. Earlier in the week, we did break out of the pattern. We've gone back inside of the pattern. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the analysis in just a moment. Ethereum still hovering around $400. XRP down at 28 cents. Bitcoin Cash at $300. Bitcoin Cash is going to make a move. I'm calling it. It's not going to happen for a few months, but it's going to make a big move. Link taking a massive hit. Guys, here's the thing you have to realize, okay? When an asset is in the hands of a strong holder, the price goes up. When the asset is in the hands of amateur investors and weak individuals that cannot handle the downside action, the price falls, the price plummets. Sorry to anybody that bought Chainlink at $20. I made the call that would be the cap. That would be where it's going to retrace, and it's retracing. We're down below $14 right now. These assets don't go up forever. Do they continue to go up? Yeah, they go up. Yeah, but they have significant retracements. We're in crypto. Expect a 40 to 50% pullback every time these things prep themselves to take another step to the upside. Jumping into the news here. So this one... This one got me going a little bit. So, U.S. bank regulators sees potential in fintech solutions to legacy banking issues. Oh, what an encouraging article. The United States Acting Comptroller of Currency, Brian Brooks, recently expressed his willingness to embrace fintech solutions in an interview with CNN. Brooks, who was formerly chief legal officer at Coinbase, explained that his job now was to identify impediments that make it harder for people to get what they want and need. This on the surface looks pretty good. This sounds nice. This had already led to a green light for banks to provide crypto custody services, and Brooks also mooted the possibility of a future central bank digital currency, the CBDC, issued by private companies but backed by banks. The interview also covered the need for faster payment solutions, with the recent issuing of coronavirus benefit payments being sent across what Brooks described as a 19th century banking rails. He noted that the lack of an instant payment solution in the US banking system had led to millions of payments being outside of it through companies such as PayPal, Stripe, and Square. This then raises the question of whether it is desirable for this financial activity to be outside of the regulator's control. Yeah, governments don't like to be outside of the control. Brooks suggested that his favorite solution, which is already being implemented in other parts of the world, including the United Kingdom, one of the most big brother areas in the entire world, was to have faster payments that are innovated by private companies and then supervised by federal watchdogs. Finally, Brooks discussed the 50 million Americans who could currently hold some form of cryptocurrency. He described his role as making sure it was accessible to them in the same safe and sound way that they could get their checking account. Oh boy. So it begins, fellas. It begins. We are laying down the framework for basically monetary policy war, in my opinion. We are laying the framework for government totalitarian control, full implementation of Big Brother. This is not good. And it's going to be wrapped up in a nice package. It's going to be presented as, this thing that people need to do under the guise of, stimulus, which everybody is begging for and wanting so much. Like, this is just, they're really capitalizing on the whole situation to get digital currency into the hands of people. Unfortunately, we are getting close to the days where we don't have a peer-to-peer transfer of value. And that's exactly what the government wants. They want to have control over the currency. They want to have control over society. They want to have control over everything, and they're going to do that with dollars. This is just the next step towards universal basic income, where no longer does your job support you. Your job in conjunction with universal basic income supports you. And if they want to cut you off, they'll cut you off. And yes, this is a bullish case for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to end up being the true peer-to-peer transfer of value. Bitcoin is going to be that digital cash that the world needs. But if you guys think that the government is not going to go down without a fight, you're kidding yourself. Prepare for incredible downside in Bitcoin. I don't know when it's going to happen. That could be the popping of this next bubble, but this is bad. This is bad. But is it the end? I don't think so. Let's take a look at the DXY. So this is a chart that I've done before. This is a Wyckoff distribution chart, and it's playing out quite beautifully on the weekly. The larger the time frame, the more valid the information is on that time frame as far as the validity of the price action. And then when you get into the weekly, that's a very strong indicator of what's to come. So here we have a very clear distribution cycle, as you can see here. This is a very clear distribution schematic based on Wyckoff theory. If you guys don't understand Wyckoff, it's actually really easy. It's not that complicated. If you join my Telegram, you'll have it down in like 4 or 5 charts. Trust me, it's not that hard. And it's an extremely powerful strategy to implement into your trading. It has pretty much been a game changer for me and my group. We have completely shifted in the last few weeks from pattern trading, which is a super valuable skill to have in a bear market, but we are showing signs that there is a potential possibility. How many cautionary words can I use? But there's a potential that we're shifting out of a bear market, and when the market shifts, your strategy needs to shift. So we are really focusing on Wyckoff accumulation right now. But this right here, this is an example of Wyckoff distribution, and it's not boding well for the future of the US dollar. It's basically gone through everything to phase C. We have phase A right here, which is not a definitive trend in Wyckoff. Then we have phase B, which is also not definitive. It's not definitive until you get into phase C, which is this up thrust and distribution test, which has been quite volatile. And now we're testing down to the lower end of the range. We're looking for our SOW, our sign of weakness. We had a sign of weakness down here. We're looking to confirm another sign of weakness before we get another move to the upside in the US dollar. But this is not a good chart, and this does not bode well for the US dollar. What does this mean? And here's the thing you gotta remember, like, who is the composite man here? The composite operator behind the US dollar? Well, it's the United States Federal Reserve. That's the composite man behind the US dollar. So they're not ignoring what's happening here. They see this chart, they understand where this is going, and they're working on transitional phases right now. So does that look like a US digital currency? Is that going to be a completely different thing altogether? Is that going to affect the DXY? Is it going to be something completely different? We don't know. But as far as the end game for the US dollar as we know it today, it's heading south, and it's heading south in a very bad way. Taking a look at taking a look at Bitcoin, which has been inversely correlated with the DXY for a while now. Let's just get into our move here. So we're in this consolidation pattern. This to me is, until we show a sign of weakness, we have no sign of weakness here. So this to me is not a distribution pattern. As it stands right now, we are in a reaccumulation pattern with a little bit of a fake out. But we are in this accumulation zone with an upwards sloping channel. If we break this channel, I expect us to print a sign of weakness, and we'll probably come back and revisit the top of the channel, at which case I would look at protecting myself against further downside action. But as you can see here on the VPVR as well, we don't have a lot of resistance past 12.3, 12.4. So if we can get above 12.4, we're probably going to make a more substantial move to the upside, probably 13.5 or even 14. And then once we get above that, really, the volume above that level is not non-existent, but it's really, there's not much. Like, you can see where all the volume is. This is where everything is happening. If we can get above this level right here, let's mark the highest resistance point right here. Yeah, so if we can get above 14.5, we're gonna hit all-time highs. There's nothing in our way from that point on. The only thing that would affect that is the amount of weak hands that are in the market. So I do anticipate that we do need a little bit more consolidation. We do need some downside. We need to get some of these amateur investors out of the space. We need to get the amateur investors not holding Bitcoin if we are going to be able to break through these resistance lines and meet the all-time high. There has been an influx of new users in the space. There is a ton of amateur investors in the space right now. So do I think that we're going to be able to break through those resistance with the current hands holding the asset? No, I do not. No, I do not. Anyways, that's all the time I've got for today. Kind of a longer video, so I'm not going to go into some of the altcoin plays. If you do want to see some of the altcoins that the group is in, feel free to hit the Telegram link below. We'll get you signed up and in the group today. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.